Hola, hola. It's Nereida, and I have a reading for us today. I was really feeling Aquarius vibes right now. I think as an Aquarius rising, I'm really feeling the shift, the Pluto shift, moving out of Capricorn, which ends a 15-year cycle and entering a new Pluto cycle, which will last for about 15 to 20 years, I believe 20 years. And it Pluto is the underworld. Aquarius is all about, community. So it's really the, Aquarian rising folks out there, it's all about unity. A lot of things are, even though it is represented by the star in the tarot, Aquarius really thinks about everybody. I was though feeling, like I heard main character vibes. So I don't know, that might be something that you resonate with. So I picked a card from the Wild Unknown Archetypes, and I haven't read it yet. I want us to read it together. And it's pretty intense. It's called The Venom. It looks like, some kind of big cat's mouth is open. Look at those big ass teeth. I mean, it's intense. So let's see what it says in here about this card. And that's the overall message. I mean, the overall energy of this reading. And we'll pick out some tarot cards and go deeper from there. But let's get this out. The poison, the curse, the toxin. Much to our dismay, the venom is always lurking in the shadows in one form or another. Its toxic presence may be found in our relationships, thoughts, speech, or environment. Thankfully, the cycle of purification and detoxification comes so naturally that it is built into our every exhale. We breathe out carbon dioxide and the plants return it to us as oxygen. Archetypal venom is rarely remedied as easily, however, and it can come in potent forms and quantities that are deeply damaging to us and to the world. When the venom card appears, there is a harmful substance in our psychic realm that must be identified. Perhaps your words have a sting of poison about them. Perhaps a relationship is slowly draining your reserves. Acknowledgement is the first step. Change is the second. The remedy will reveal itself in time, and with it, forgiveness. Wow. That's strong. The spreading of the venom is like a chain reaction. When we strike others, it is likely we have ourselves been struck. Break the cycle. Okay, I mean, let's just take a moment to really acknowledge the depth of this message and how it can really be related to the micro in our own personal lives and in the macro and what's happening out in the world. I mean, really, this is 100% a collective message. When you harm another, you harm yourself. Keep in mind this goes for our earth as well, with cosmic consequences. When in light, self-realization through suffering. When dark, unwillingness to find a solution or forgive. To go deeper, A Poison Tree by William Blake. I'm going to have to look that book up. So, wow, this is very, it is very profound. The earth, Mother Earth is right in the middle here in the grips of this, thing about to chomp down. And it is very much what we're seeing out in our world. We see, the way that we have built our communities and our society in such an unsustainable way to Mother Earth without consideration of her, without consideration of our future children, the future generations. We've just really been thinking about capitalism and creating and creating and creating. And as we see now too, a whole community of people that have been hurting others. And I don't want to get too deep into that so that we can move forward with this reading because it will show us in depth. But I think that this is definitely like a very important group of collective that I'm reading for. And like I said, I was feeling the Aquarius rising energy, very Aquarian energy. That could be you. You could have some Aquarius energy, air sign, either in the top 3 placements or in a more like in one of your placements where you're out there in the world, like talking about energy that you put out there in the world. I'm learning more astrology so that I can really turn, bring that in. And I think it really, tarot and astrology go hand in hand. So first we're going to pull some cards from the Muse. And what I'm intending on pulling these cards here is a little bit deeper into how this is showing up for you in your personal life. So this can be in your relationships, or actually if there's any other people involved, we'll see them with these beginning cards. Some of the situations maybe that you're going through. We have the 5 of emotions, and we have the world, the cosmos. It has come up upside down. Let's see, what else? 2 more cards. The Emperor and the 2 of Voices upside down. Okay, so let's just get into these cards for a moment. So we have the 5 of emotions. Here, I really love this card because it does talk about traditionally, bringing awareness to how we get stuck on our stories, our past stories of pain and heartbreak, right? And it's not that there's anything wrong with, looking back and remembering where we came from. It's about allowing those thoughts, when we think about it, to drag us back there in an emotional way. So here, you see this figure, and basically I feel like here she's more mastering how to thaw the ice, how to thaw her heart that's been cold for such a long time, possibly from heartbreak, from pain, some kind of loss. I do think, with that Venom card, this is very much the grief that we're feeling as a collective as we move through such a hard period in our eras, because this is, what they call the end of the Kali Yuga as well. And when we're changing eras, when we're changing yugas, we have to really see things kind of get worse before we're going to see them get better, because there is this breakdown of what once was with the vision of what's coming, and yet it's still not in our reality. And so there's still a lot of grief that we hold as a collective, in our personal lives, losses that we've had, dreams that we've had to, see shatter in front of us. It's a grief that we collectively are sharing in our personal, intimate world, and also out there in the world, right? And so the world, the cosmos cards in reverse here, I'm going to place it face up. This is 2 cards now that come in with planet Earth showing. I think that this is beyond, like I said, that Aquarian energy. It's really not thinking about just the self. It's thinking about everybody involved. The Aquarian age is a unification age. It is a time when we finally come together as humanity, not focusing on what makes us different, but actually what makes us the same, why we're here, and we unify. And I think that, the world does feel really upside down right now, doesn't it? I mean, there's a lot of things that we're seeing that are just from a system that is totally broken. And we're trying to figure out how to, bring that emperor vibe in and rebuild. We're rebuilding in our personal lives, and we're rebuilding out there in the world, trying to create something new that perhaps we've never, or that we can feel that we've experienced. I feel there's like this feeling that we've experienced this type of community, this type of living in some far off place. We can barely touch it, but we can feel it, we can sense it. And we're trying to rebuild in our own personal lives again, in the collective. Now this, to me, with the Emperor, this is a major arcana. So I feel like this is a really important energy to focus on. And it is a beautiful energy to focus on. This is somebody, the Emperor, you know, is solid. There's a strong foundation here, rooted. You know, this is taking care of business. For some reason, I'm being called to point out, you know, the cords and all the different, you know, paths that we have to take and try. And I'm also really noticing, you know, that there's more shadow than light here for some reason. Like these guys are like, you know, shadow, but there's just a couple that bring in, you know, the light. And I feel, oh, there's more than two. There's another one there. And what I'm feeling, like, as I feel into that deeper, it feels like, you know, this is a process where the few are going to have to affect the bigger, the more. What? The few are going to have to affect, yeah, the fewer, there's only a few souls that are like really working to vibrate on a higher frequency. And that's what's going to actually, you know, these like emperors, these people that are really doing the work within themselves out there in the world, making changes, making moves, contributing in a very big way. It's going to affect the bigger collective that is not quite there yet. And I have read something about that in the past where, you know, there's a certain number of people that can affect, you know, like if we get enough people in this, I can't remember the exact numbers, but let's just say like 20 people affect 100, something like that. But it's important that these 20 souls are vibrating at such a high frequency that they can help other people feel like, you know, lift them up. So there's something about that with this emperor. Like maybe you're somebody that's, you know, you're really working out there. You're trying to contribute to your community in some way. And we have the Two of Voices in reverse. So I have, this card has been coming up in the readings. And it does talk about a decision, you know, being able, having the ability to, or working on the ability to have a bigger picture vision instead of what's right in front of you, and trusting that bigger vision, that bigger picture. This is really calling on trusting your instincts, trusting your intuition. There's always, in one shape or form, in most tarot decks, the Two of Voices depicts somebody that is not able to see. They're always blindfolded. So here we see two figures that are blindfolded, and yet there is this other figure, you know, kind of like overlooking the whole scenery here. And I feel like that's really like the higher self, you know, overlooking at all the things, all the decisions, and asking you to trust that, because it's interesting that this doorway, you know, walks through, if we look at the bigger figure in the back, this doorway is basically walking straight into, you know, that creation center. So that's something interesting here. And this was upside down. This was in its reversal. So I'm just kind of feeling into whether this is a blockage that you have, where you're not trusting your bigger picture, where you're having a hard time trusting your bigger picture because you're looking at the world and it's just not feeling like how can I trust this bigger picture? There's so much grief and I'm doing so much work and I'm not seeing anything changing. Things are getting worse. Okay, let's pull some more cards. Okay, Spirit, what else do you want us to know about this? This is the Hermit with the Six of Emotions. Yeah, you're feeling very nostalgic, very alone. I have the Empress at the bottom though, so I do feel like, oh, that's the Empress and the Emperor. You want somebody, you're like, where are my people that are going to fight this fight with me? Where are my people that are going to rebuild with me? You're feeling very nostalgic about that, like, you know, your soul community, your soul group. With the Hermit, you've really been like feeling like you have to depend on your relationship with yourself and your higher power, because you don't really feel like you have a lot of people that you can relate to out in the world. I do see you, you know, deep in like this like reflective prayer energy, and you're calling in your Emperor, remember? And we have Empress at the bottom of the deck. Six of Emotions in reverse. There could be also, you know, like, again, this could be your own integration work, really revisiting childhood memories, adult, like when you're a teenager memories. Maybe some of you, this could be your return of Saturn, because I'm seeing the energy of Saturn here. This could be karmic ties. There's something here with the Empress and the Emperor. I'm going to leave her out. I'm just going to put her right next to the Emperor, because that's where they want to be. Together. Working together. The Great Mother, the divine masculine, divine feminine, working together. The Five of Voices in reverse. So it's interesting that we see an olive branch here, because, you know, this speaks of, I feel like there is some turmoil here. There's this blockage, though, in reaching out. It's in its reversal. With the Six of Emotions in reverse, I'm feeling like there's this energy that, yeah, has having a hard time reaching out in hermit mode. Just so used to kind of doing things on your own that you're having a hard time reaching out. And this has something to do with like childhood trauma, with the Six of Emotions in reverse, maybe. Number 5, movement, change. What else, Spirit? Knight of Voices in reversal. So there is like this feeling of like, you know, knowing that you gotta, like, there has to be some different way of doing something. There has to be some kind of communication, and yet having a really hard time figuring out how that's going to happen. I feel like I have to go a little bit deeper with this, because Knight of Voices, that's definitely, you know, information coming in, communication, but it's in reverse. Strength. Okay, we have these 3 cards, which to me are speaking of inner turmoil, like inner stress. And it's sandwiched between the Hermit and the Strength card. Hermit, Virgo, Strength is Leo vibes. But you're really having to like dig deep to find the way to make this, to reach out, to apologize, to extend that olive branch. This is like a karmic lesson. I mean, oh my God, this is blowing my mind because it's just so like, you know, in tune with what's happening in the greater collective as well. Okay, so I feel like there's 10 cards on the table. This isn't like the usual type of spread that I do. So I feel like that's pretty much complete with those cards. So now I just want to go a little bit deeper with some of these. Who are the players in these situations? Can you tell me more about this Five of Emotions? Who's involved? What's happening? This grief? Or tell me more about it. Whatever you need us to know. We call them the highest. Sometimes when I'm not getting cards, I feel like I'm not asking the right question. So let's see. Five of Emotions. What do you want us to know about this Five of Emotions, Spirit? Guidance. Huh, interesting. Eight of Fire, insight. This Five of Emotions, this grief, it's meant to teach us. I feel like there was something about that through the pain and suffering in that Venom card. There was something about that. I have to go back to it because this is like, you know, learning from our pain instead of doing it over again to somebody else, you know, instead of, oh, I can't remember the page now. Hold on one second. Sorry. Interesting. I cannot find it right now. What page was it? There it is. I was missing the one. I thought it was 91. It's 191. That's number 11. Interesting. Okay. Where does it say? The remedy will reveal itself in time, and with it, forgiveness. Yeah, I mean, this is lessons. We talked about possibly the energy of Saturn here. These are deep lessons through suffering, you know. It's so hard sometimes to think that we have to suffer in order to learn. And that's what makes being on this planet so challenging, right? I mean, this is a challenging place to be. We get really pressured through our mental state and also our emotional state. Like, it's a lot of pressure here on this planet. Yeah, the spreading, I think this is what it was reminded me of. The spreading of the venom is like a chain reaction. When we strike others, it is likely we have ourselves been struck. Break the cycle. So with the Eight of Fire under the Five of Emotions, there's some insight around here, like around this. We can maybe expect to get some insight very soon with this shift of Pluto moving into Aquarius. I know it's going to do a little dance. It's going to go back and forth throughout the year. And I think it's late October that it stays in Aquarius. So that's, you know, we could maybe go a little bit deeper with what kind of insight. But let's move on to clarify the world. Why is the world in reverse? Why is it upside down? Spirit, why is the world upside down? Six of Water, pleasure, because we have forgotten the blessings. We have forgotten to be grateful for the abundance that that we still get to, you know, receive on this planet. Either way, we're, you know, we live on this beautiful planet. And what I love is that there's an abundance, like it just feels like an abundance of over, like flowing water. There's, all the cups are filled. This is like, I think that's the guidance of how to help ourselves throughout these very challenging, heavy times, is to focus on pleasure, because that's how we raise our vibration, is by focusing on pleasure. And I'm not saying ignore the world and what's out there, but maybe do the things that you do that bring you pleasure with intention. I offer this feeling of pleasure to the world. In Absolute Tantra, when I learned these beautiful, you know, I'm feeling like for some of you that, you know, Tantra, like looking into Tantra is actually very beneficial. And this isn't to say like, oh, like learning freak positions or whatever. No, this is about taking the pleasure, the feelings of being alive, our sight. It's like enhancing your life with being a human, you know, like enhancing the soul through our senses. This is refocusing your energy, yeah, bringing that intention in. Like, I offer this creative, beautiful energy when you're feeling turned on, and offer it into everything you do in your life. There's actually a lot of practices around, you know, being, you know, in that turned on state, and then offering it into the world when you're taking care of your plants, when you're taking care of your family, when you're taking care of yourself. It doesn't necessarily have to be used in a physical way, like releasing, if you catch my drift. Okay. The Emperor with the Ace of Fire here. So yeah, this is about I, you know, suddenly am feeling again a very masculine energy. It's, you know, Ace of Fire. We relate it to the Ace of Wands along with pleasure. It's like, use that fire, baby, to create. Put that into everything that you do. Be passionate about what you're working on. Have very clear intentions about the things that you're creating, because that is, you know, that is that Emperor vibe. I'm feeling a fire sign as well with the Leo, but also like Aries, Emperor Aries vibes here. All right, can you tell me about this Empress that, you know, I feel like, yeah, this Emperor, this Empress, oh, that's too many cards. Spirit, can you tell me about this Empress? Why is she here? What is the message here for the Emperor? Because as you remember, the Empress just kind of showed herself and was like pretty demanding that she be on the table. Oh, we have Shaman to the Empress. Two of Fire, Will. I'm feeling power couple vibes here. I'm feeling, yeah, I want to say, you know, going back to the Tantra thing, if you are in a relationship and you are two people that are doing a lot of work in your community or just within yourselves as you're in your family, of like, you know, conscious work, this is telling me about like, you know, using your creative energy. Maybe you are actually trying to bring a life into this earth, like you're trying to impregnate somebody, you're like wanting to create a life, but it's like also bringing into creation, keeping the vision, whatever vision you have in your family, or if you have a conscious vision for the collective, to bring that into your intentions, because I'm feeling very much manifestor vibes here. But also the shaman, this is just like very, I've been getting this card a lot actually. This is like the third time that it pops out in a reading. So it might be that there is somebody out there listening to these messages, resonating, that you do consider yourself to be somebody that can communicate with, the unseen. Again, with the Venom card, doing a lot of energetic cleaning, it feels like, or maybe this is like, there is this, like, I'm hearing, if you feel like you do need help to clear some energies, because I'm remembering the Two of Voices, the blockage here, the connection to the trust of the journey, not being able to have a positive perspective about the world. Yeah, maybe there's like a call in to clear some energies here. All right, what's this Two of Voices in reverse, Spirit, please? Yeah, but I'm also feeling like this deep prayer to like call in your Empress, or vice versa. This one I feel like really wanted to come in. Completion. Okay, good. So the Two of Voices in reverse feels like there is a completion. Remember I said cleansing? Look at all the smudge sticks here. Look at all the smudge sticks. This is like really beautiful how, like, it's just like whatever disconnection you were feeling, you got the moon in reverse, whatever you weren't seeing, whatever was in your subconscious that was like potentially blocking you from that feeling of connection with the divine, with your higher self. Maybe you were feeling distrust in your journey, like all this pain can't possibly be for a reason. Like, what is the reason? What was the reason? So yeah, there's like a completion here. Number 4, that feels really good. It feels like there's this, blockage being cleansed. Maybe your feminine nature personally, or the feminine in your life, has really helped you to achieve some of this removal of blockage, because the Empress was the one that had the shaman under her. Okay, Spirit, why is the Hermit here? Why is the Hermit here? We have 10 of Fire, Oppression, 10 of Wands. It did kind of want to come in reverse. Yeah, I mean, the Hermit would, recluse into loneliness because of feeling, some kind of oppression, depression, oppression, not feeling accepted by society, feeling alone. There is, but the 10 of if coming in reversal, I'm feeling again this like breakthrough moment. 6 of Emotions. Can you tell me why the 6 of Emotions is in reverse? Oh, wow. Okay. So let me just look at these cards really quick. They're all great cards. Beautiful. Great cards to kind of get. But let's look at the ones that fell out and landed right here. We have Medicine Woman. Definitely your Empress is a medicine woman doing some kind of work on a subconscious level, doing, prayer work, I have been feeling that a lot lately, this collective. I love tuning in to these collectives that are, I feel like I resonate with the readings where it's not just about like, you know, karmic relationships. It's about like actually doing the work for ourselves to evolve ourselves, but to also help our people, our society evolve as well. How are we going to like lift each other up? Because that's what we need right now. You know, together, unified, we need to, you know, overcome the oppression and cleanse the venom off of our planet. Okay, and how do we do that? We start with ourselves. We do the work, the shaman work. We go see the shaman. We go sit with the shaman. We become the shaman. But really, not some online little 6-month certification program. I'm talking about do the work. Okay? Medicine woman right here. 8 of Earth, inner order. This, whatever your childhood traumas are, you've really been putting in the work. Okay? And, you know, you're starting to feel the insights coming in about all this grief that you've experienced, everything that you've had to witness in your life, the things that you've had to overcome. You're really seeing that, okay, now I've put in the work, 8 of Earth, and, you know, there's some sense of grounding, some sense of foundation, or you're feeling like, you know, maybe this is also some guidance for some of you to get help from a medicine woman. Have somebody do a cleansing for you, and that's going to, you know, really open up work. But 8 of Earth coincides with 8 of Coins, which talks a lot about work. So like I feel like this is like literally saying like work with the medicine woman, you know what I'm saying? Or you have done some work with the medicine woman. All right, let's go deeper into this 5 of Voices. Let's, if any, what is the blockage here of reaching out? What is the blockage of peace? Literally. Right. Okay, so I'm going to take these 2 cards, and I also feel like this one wanted to come out. Oh, that's so beautiful. So, because this is a lot of information. We have the 5 of Air, and which coincides again with the 5 of Swords, which we got. Where did we get? Oh, duh. It's the same card, different deck. Fear. Yeah, it's like 3 of Fire, integrity. I mean, you're being called to have integrity, and yet there is this fear of like owning up to something, even yourself, to yourself. Like you have some fear around what, maybe you have some fear that this will about this Ace of Water, there's some kind of renewal that you're looking for, and you're afraid. I feel like, listen, you should be more afraid of not being in integrity than of actually being in integrity and reaching out. And if you need to apologize or something, that you do it. You know, it's just, you have to dig deep into your strength, right? And overcome. That's like the biggest battle, is overcoming ourselves and overcoming our own bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And believe me, when you're dealing with somebody like the Emperor or the Empress, that they have like a pretty good awareness of themselves already too. This is like, you know, pretty important energy here. Shaman, medicine woman, somebody that has some like consciousness awareness, they're gonna see more that you overcame your traumas and the things that blocked you, and that you did your cleansing work, that you got rid of the toxic BS in your life. And that's what they're going to look at. I mean, hopefully. Obviously, you know, depending on what you're coming clean about, what you're apologizing. If it's an apology, it could just be about being honest about something else. I don't know. But it does feel like an apology, like I said, with that olive branch extending peace. We have the medicine man too, you guys. Medicine woman, medicine man. We have a very lovely looking pair here. We have the Emperor and the Empress. This is like, yeah, I mean, I'm really feeling like power couple in the vibe, in the sense of like not just in the material world, but like in the spiritual world, like on your journey, like you're just both doing the work here. And with the Knight of Voices, whatever this communication is, like put it up for prayer, okay? Whatever you need to say, put it in your pipe and smoke for it. Like, you know, cleanse the air, cleanse the energy, take some tabaquito, take some sage, and really sit with yourself to find the guidance within yourself about what you want to communicate. 7 of air. This is 7 of wands. I'm sorry, seven of swords. It does traditionally speak about maybe, you know, thinking that you can get away with something, but this is, the key word here is futility, and I'm hearing resistance is futile. Like, you know, this is something that's got to happen. So it's going to happen whether you create that space or not. You're going to have an opportunity. 4 of air, contemplation. So in the moments where you have alone time, when you can really contemplate what it is that you want to communicate, what it is that you want to create, that's where you connect to your own inner strength, not anybody else's advice, not anybody else's, you know, 2 cents. This is about you connecting with yourself, contemplating very deeply what it is that, you know, you want to bring into your existence. I mean, this is very much about, you know, potentially a unifying of forces within a very high vibrational relationship. Or even, let's just say that this is just, you're only resonating, like, this is me. Like, I've been doing the Hierosgamos work of like unifying within myself. You know, I've done the work with, you know, my with my teacher, with my whoever, you know, with my higher self. I've been doing the work and really bringing in the prayers. I'm feeling like so much like there's this like renewal of relationship with the Ace of Water here. This whole there's a communication stumbling here, but that's what like is going to bring renewal and vitality into this, you know, Ace of Water, this new vessel of what's the word? Yeah, this like new way of flowing in relationship. It feels very abundant, clean, so pure of heart. Okay, I feel like I'm wondering how much time I've been going. Solar plexus, number 3. Any more guidance, Spirit? Just picking out some guidance cards. Spiritual strength. Again, we have strength, the word strength. Oh, wow, that's a lot of messages, but we're going to take them. We're going to take them. Victory and success. Yeah. We have the light. That's the star card. I began this message talking about Aquarian vibes. This is our card, Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius rising. Woo-hoo. Stand your ground. Do not let outside forces hold you down and oppress you, because your light is meant to shine in this world. You're meant to make a difference in this world. Do not let the oppressive nature of this planet, of the system on this planet, it's not our planet, it's the system. Keep, you stand your ground. Stand up for what you believe in, okay? Emperor, Empress. And shine your light. Oh, extra card here because I did not see that. Third eye chakra, emotional withdrawal. Remember to take time to go inward. For air, right? Contemplation. That's rest, going inward. Focus on the vision. Focus on the bigger picture of what you want to create. Why are you doing the things that you're doing? What are the intentions behind it? Where are you placing your energy? Why are you placing your energy there? Why do you want to create? Why do you want to procreate? Get really clear about that. Make sure you're in alignment with the person that you're with about why you want to create the life that you want to create, and why you want to procreate, why you want to bring more babies into this world. Please have some really beautiful intentions. Please. Okay? And this is beautiful. Very beautiful energy that I'm reading to. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. Last few cards here, just to tie it all together. 33 cards that I downloaded over 33 days. Definitely want to add more. I keep saying that. I'll start soon. Just, waiting for that guidance, y'all. Waiting for that guidance. I'm going to take this one. Alignment. I just said that. I just said that word. Values. Make sure, when you're calling in self-love, when you're calling in that emperor or that empress, that you focus on values. Do not discount the compatibility of values. If your values do not align, my dear, your relationship is not going to align, and it will always come up in the end. Attraction is here. Do without doing your why. I've been saying that this whole reading. Your why. Focus on your why. We have self-love and amor propio. Show up for yourself. Show up for yourself. It's an everyday practice. If you don't show up for yourself, how are you going to show up for anybody else? If you don't show up for yourself, how are you going to know when somebody else is showing up for you? Okay. Radical self-acceptance. I see you doing that work. Medicine man, medicine woman, in your own way. It doesn't have to be, actual medicines that you're using. This is like your own medicine. We have choice, free will, conscious, unconscious. Choose wisely. Take your time. Breathe. All right? When faced with the choice, remember your values. Stand your ground about what you need, what you deserve. And this is like on a big scale, not just in your relationships. This is in life too. Think about what you deserve, what your what our future generation deserves to be left with. Okay? Everybody deserves the best. We all do. Okay? We all do. All right. I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. This was an awesome reading. I'll see you next time.